All right, good morning, everyone. I got to get my Christmas tree on. There we go. Welcome back, guys. Happy Thursday. What a wild overnight move. Man, it just never ends. What a wild overnight move. Morning, guys. Welcome back. How we doing? Oh, Christmas tree. Funny. Hold on one second, guys. All right. So, wild day, wild overnight. Upside on FOMC hits the supply 25.850, 25.9, the same level we've had. Bam, smack down rejection, straight down overnight, straight down to 25.4 key demand. Bam, straight up, and we're right back to where we started. Yeah, we've seen this market before. We've seen it before. It's this volatile channel. I remember vividly periods on the market like this, and here we go again. So it's one of those times and one of those periods where, it's either short-term scalps or much larger term, play the macro trend. It's definitely not short-term swings because this volatility will just annihilate short-term swings. It's either just scalp it, right? Or look out maybe 6 months from now or a year. And that's really the game right now. I'm doing both. I'm scalping the intraday, and then I'm sort of trying to believe in the bigger picture on some strong names, because there's still some very strong names out there. But man, wild stuff again. The same channel is channeling, so really nothing to talk about different today. So we hit our key supply at 25.850, 25.9. We smacked down straight to the 25.4 demand, and just huge moves on either side of that. Overnight, about a 400-point drop, followed by a 203, almost 300-point pop. And you find yourself, basically right where we were, right? What was yesterday's open? Are we right at yesterday's open? I think we are. Yesterday's open was 25,647. So yeah, you are right at yesterday's open. Slightly above yesterday's open. So, what does this mean? It really just means that, there's a lot of sellers here and there's still a lot of buyers here. And in the bigger picture, you continue to see the macro trend stay true, and your daily candle is once again picking up a lot of liquidity down here at key demand. And that 25.4 retest, boy, do I wish that happened on the intraday, or boy, do I wish I was awake during that time to maybe trade some futures, because that is a perfect tap of those previous daily highs and that daily 50. So it's hard to get too confident on a single direction because of the intense volatility, and you don't know what's going to happen on an overnight basis. But hopefully this cleans up. Hopefully this cleans up. Right now, it's just a matter of staying relaxed inside this channel. I would continue to be scaled down. I'd continue to take it easy into the end of the year here. I've been getting a lot of questions from people online saying, why are you trading such small size? And I mean, my answer to that is, have you moved the fat away from your chubby cheeks and have you looked at the market, right? I'm not going to trade large size in this. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to put on a show for the people online. I'm not going to put on the dog and pony show to make sure that, I'm trading large size and showing big, exciting things happening. I'm not going to risk my own money like that. So, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I'm not going to trade large size in a market that's crazy overnight. Who the hell knows what happens the next 10 minutes inside this channel type of move. Like, what the hell's the point? So, yeah, I mean, just a time to back off a little bit. And that's been my stance for quite some time. It's either back off or zoom out, right? For me, it's been a lot more zoom out. Look for, 6-month out trades. Look for some deep in the money, 3-month, 6-month, 12-month swing trades. Trusting the macro picture. And that's it. Right? That's it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. IWM, absolutely beautiful, Bob. Yeah, man. IWM has been insane. Beautiful. I mean, definitely the best market out there right now. Hands down. Hands down, IWM is the juicer. So, yeah, I think we watch it again today. IWM is on an insane retest this morning. Insane. Look at this. Now, that is clean. All right? That is clean. Look at that right there. Little channel. This is what you want on the overall market, on the NASDAQ ES. This is what you want right here. You want this to happen over 25.9, right? That is what you want. You want that to happen right here. Right here. What the IWM is doing right now is what you need to see happen over 25.9 on the NASDAQ. Right? It's very clear what you need. See the IWM? Channel highs into perfect lows here, even on that overnight panic attack. That is exactly what you need on the ESNQ to get us on a move. And at that point, I would consider some larger trades. Until then, this is such an unknown for me. And I think you need to understand that it is an unknown. And I think it's smart to back off a little bit. So, let's see. Let's see. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Oh, shoot, I forgot we're not streaming on X. I gotta generate a new... Here we go. All right. Now we should be good. Okay. So, once again, yeah, wild move overnight. Supply, demand, 25.9, 25.4. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. So press that like button if you could. Subscribe to the channel. Let's look at some setups. There are some nice ones out there. First things first, economic calendar today. We do have unemployment claims here at 8:30, so we'll see if that does anything for us. Unemployment claims 8:30. Tomorrow, nothing on the docket, just some talking heads, FOMC members flapping their gums. Nothing really there. So that's about it. Let's jump into some stocks. Well, first of all, tonight, Broadcom earnings. That is a big one. That is a big one. Tonight, Broadcom earnings, definitely important. Hope to see my baby hold up. You know, whether it goes up or goes down, you know, no change on my feeling on that stock. Broadcom, Lululemon tonight, Costco, and Restoration Hardware. Another awesome store. Bury me in Restoration Hardware. Okay? That's what I'm going to ask for you guys. Find somewhere in Restoration Hardware and bury me in that store. Lululemon, actually a nice hold, but earnings tonight. Let's see if it can find some juice. Costco, not been great lately, Costco. Not been great lately. We'll see what the earnings has to say. And then Restoration Hardware, RH, not been that good either lately. Really just sort of a dead stock down at these lows. So let's see what these earnings do. I'm not interested in playing them. Broadcom is obviously going to be the most interesting and just an absolute gorgeous stock. We'll see what it does. All right. So NASDAQ futures. Let's jump in. Last night, obviously, we saw, and I don't know how much this is due to Oracle's earnings, which I don't really believe it is. I think it's just a classic give back of FOMC move and just a classic sort of, overnight head for the door. Everyone's falling on top of each other to get out, run for the hills. And then it just sort of picks up that volatility. That's sort of what last night move looked like. Once you get a little sniff of that red, you just start seeing people run for the doors. And, that's sort of just a straight down, sort of panicky type drop that happened. I am actually quite surprised to see it hold the 25.4. I was under the impression last night as I was going to bed. I was like, this might be the one, right? I actually thought that this was going to give up. I figured that this might be that drop into our SPY 674. That was my initial feeling last night. It was like, man, that looks pretty aggressive. We might actually get our 674, 673, daily 20, daily 50 on SPY. But, man, that 680 level absolutely defended itself. And that NASDAQ 25.4 absolutely defended itself. We can see now, if we zoom out, let's go back to the daily chart. We now have the daily 20, daily 50 inside of our 25.4, 25.2 demand zone, which is this area, this area, this area, and this area. So major previous highs, right? Still turning into very strong demand lows. And now the daily 20, daily 50 are stacked up right there in between that demand zone. You can see that is on the hourly chart right in this area here. So still think that buying is set up in this zone. It's still obviously there. You can see it from the overnight session. Aggressive pop back higher. But, man, I don't trust either of these moves. I don't trust the downside, and I surely don't trust this upside because this is not happening on an intraday basis. And really on the intraday basis, you are just completely pinned on a daily basis. I mean, just totally sideways inside of this NTZ. We created this NTZ, I believe, on Tuesday of this week. Or was it Monday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. I think it was Monday overnight session where I was like, all right, create the NTZ. And you can see we've been inside that now the entire week. So we're rejecting this Thursday high a day, which is 25,732. When we reclaim these lows at 25,560, you can see we pushed higher. And now we're just sort of smack dab in the middle, and we're right at the key inflection point again at 25,670, which has been a very key spot on this market. 25,670, pretty much on an intraday basis, you see reactions at it. So today, let's see what happens at that 25,670 spot. That was the exact spot that held on FOMC yesterday. So right here, you can see 25,670, 25,670, and then on FOMC yesterday, 25,670. So another really clean hold at 25,670. And so today I'm just going to sort of monitor what happens there. Do we flip above it, right? Do we fail back under it? Is there going to be a key reaction at that level? But even if that happens, you still have your 25,732 supply. You still have your previous day lows, which I actually have to adjust here. The previous day lows that I have here is actually the Monday, Tuesday lows. So I'm going to change that real quick. This is Monday, Tuesday lows. That's what that is right there. Previous day lows, we're down at previous day lows on the NASDAQ. We're actually down here at 25,528, which actually, I'm going to talk to you guys about this in a second, was a previous day low, exact previous day low tap on the QQQ, which was quite beautiful. So you have a lot of lows down here and a lot of liquidity grabs that are happening, right? You sort of swept the Monday, Tuesday lows yesterday on the NASDAQ right here, which created a very aggressive pop back higher. And so I would be careful, again, into all of these lows. You have this Friday low, you have these Monday, Tuesday lows, you have yesterday's low, right? You have all of this area down here that continues to be these sort of liquidity grabs and these pops after dropping into those lows. So careful at those lows. You still got that major demand down below 25.4. The problem is really the only spot to long this market right now is to trust these sort of lows and trust these V-shaped sort of reversals, because that's really the channel low demand longs. You can't long at these highs because every pop into the highs becomes a rejection. So that's why, I had a conversation about this yesterday on our call. It's not a trending market. It's not a, break the high, hold the high into a new low, break and retest, uptrending market. This is much more of a long the trap on either side, short the trap at the highs, long the trap at the lows, short the trap at the highs, long the trap at the lows, right? It's a channeling market, and the trade right now is to short the bull traps, right? And long the bear traps, right? That's really what it is right now. And then you just sort of take advantage of this intra-channel volatility. And these are all just scalp trades. So it's a different type of market. Adjusting to that has been very important. You're not getting trending break and retests on the overall market. You're getting some trending break and retest on individual equities. No sound. No, there's sound. But you're just not getting trending on the overall market. So something to be aware of. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you there. S&P 500. You guys can see right here, same exact channel. 68.12 has been our major demand low, 68.12, 67.90. You can see another pop down into that level, right? Bam, bam, 68.12 stepping up again. A lot of demand still sitting down here, 68.12, 67.90, right back up. You are above the key inflection point today on the ES, which I am interested in watching. You can see we had these previous highs right here at 68.64. And yesterday, 68.64 proved to be another important spot, right? 68.64 was 68.64 to 68.56. Pretty important spot there yesterday. Once we failed that right here, look at the absolute just destruction that came in after failing that 64 spot. And today, maybe there is some interest for me to see if we get a pullback long inside of this zone, right? Back to where we longed on FOMC, back to where we rejected yesterday, and then back to where this rejected in the pre-market. This could be a nice little spot right here today. Little pullback long back into the 64.56 area, and then a continuation move here. That's something I could be interested in, but that's again a very much channel, middle of the channel trade. So how much do I trust it? Maybe a little bit less than I would on a very strong trending move. But that is something to watch. That would be a hold above these hourly highs right here. That could be slightly intriguing if that could set up clean today. Besides that, you're watching 6,900 supply, you're watching 68.12 demands, and a 100-point overnight move on the ES is just absolute insanity. But I am happy to see the volatility, and it looks like you're starting to pick it up a little bit, which could be nice. We could be, at the tail end of this channel if this volatility could start to pick up. So let's see. FOMC's out of the way. Maybe today, tomorrow, we get some good juice. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the SPY real quick. SPY, same level we've been talking about. The 680 lows, spot on again, overnight session. Came right into the 680 lows. Bam, that was the exact low a day, or the exact overnight low. Look at this. Right at the 680 lows. Consolidation above the Monday lows, Thursday's lows, right? Look at this little consolidation that happened in the overnight session. Right here is your Thursday low. Right here is your Monday low. In between those two lows, look at the holds that have come in here. And look at the holds that came in yesterday at those levels, right? Right in between that Monday, Thursday low. Look how perfect that is. And look what happened here in the overnight session. Same spot. So that is absolutely a spot down there. The Thursday high a day, is still the rejection point to be careful of here, 685.78, which you could bring up to 686, in my opinion. I think it could be right to bring that up to 686. That would be right up here on this 4 hour. I believe this is, yeah, it's pretty damn close to 686. I don't mind bringing that up to 686, actually. That could be the right call. That could be the right call today. I might bring that up. 686. Yeah, I'm going to bring that up to 686 just because that's a nice clean psych level. And you can see the rejections coming in off 686 this morning. So, yeah, I would say 686 would be your sort of cautionary spot there. If you get above 686, back to 687.32, and then you got your all-time highs up here. For me, the 684 will be key again. If you go to the hourly chart, you can see right here, 684, that key inflection point between 684 683, previous rejections. And I would be looking to see if that zone can become a higher low again. That could be something to at least show us some short-term higher low to set up from yesterday's overnight low. Could be a nice spot to watch. QQQ, yesterday, PDL was incredible, really. You know, there's really no other word for it. Yesterday, PDL was awesome. This is a long that I took on the QQQ yesterday. It was a really nice long opportunity. It was right off the previous day lows. So Tuesday's lows were 621. Yesterday's lows, 620.99. So you were 1 cent off the previous day lows right here. 1 cent. From here to here was a 1 cent difference, and that created a very nice little long opportunity intraday yesterday. Quite a nice little setup on the call yesterday. So that was nice. I think you continue to watch that. 620.99, 621, definitely a key spot there. And I mean, let's bask in the glory of this perfect demand zone down here again. 618.50, 617.50, Tuesday's lows, Wednesday's lows, and there you go. The overnight session held right there. I am still cautious of the fact that we need potentially this drop. I am. I would not write that off. Right? I'm still slightly cautious that you might need this daily 20, daily 50 on the Qs, which is down to 612, 613, which is the same thing as getting down to 674 on the SPY. So still a little bit cautious on that. This upside move overnight, or this upside move in the morning, is just as unreliable as this downside move right now. I mean, these are all very unreliable moves. Straight up, straight down, straight up. You can't trust one more than the other. All you can trust right now is that there's going to be opportunity off these major demand lows and these major supply highs. That's all you can trust right now. Anything that's inside of that is so sketchy. And that is why, once again, like I said earlier, I have scaled down to compensate for the uncertainty. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, scaling up and trading aggressive inside of these sideways channels is exactly how you lose your account. And I have no interest in losing my account. I would rather not lose my account than put on a show for the Timmies and Jimmies online. So 624, that's the key spot. All right, 624, that's the key spot, in my opinion, again today. That's these highs here. And 624 is going to be an interesting spot to watch again. We'll see if it holds tight. We'll see if it holds tight. If not, if we just fail right back under that, then you're just right back into the nonsense of yesterday. Yeah, what's going on with this IRBT stock? Why is everyone talking about it? Is it just a penny stock squeezer? Yeah, a little bit. Oh, it's iRobot. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's funny. I was watching this stock the other day, like back here at like $2. I didn't even realize. Oh, shoot. Damn. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was sort of like, when the robotics news came out, even though I don't know what iRobot really is involved in anymore, but yeah, when that government robotic news came out, I was like, iRobot, that's robotics, right? Wow. That would have been a nice little set and forget, huh? Interesting. Okay. You got your gap to fill, yeah, at the $6.01 level. $6.10. I'm creating an alert above it. Interesting. Okay. So that's that. SMH hitting new all-time highs last night, or yesterday, intraday. Very nice. SMH continues to be very strong. Really no concerns on SMH here, guys. I mean, holding the Tuesday lows, the Monday lows, yesterday's lows, right? Really not breaking down anything. So I think status quo on SMH. I'd say what's more important for the SMH is obviously Broadcom earnings. Broadcom earnings tonight is obviously what is going to drive this. So let's see what happens there. IWM, incredible chart yesterday. Even the intraday break and retest of these highs was great. I was tempted. I didn't go for it just because it was on the heat of FOMC, but it was absolute textbook stuff, huh? Look at this on the IWM yesterday. Previous high a day, and look at that perfect hold. That's pretty good stuff. That's really good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, again, here in the overnight session, that same spot holding. This is the previous all-time high and these previous quadruple top highs. You had a perfect break and retest of that level intraday yesterday. You have a perfect pullback to that level here in the overnight session. And you're up higher off of it. Now, this is sort of a tough entry point because really what you want your entry point to be is here, guys. So, yeah, not much of a reason to chase this, unfortunately. This is really where you want to be long, down here. Yeah, without that, you're just sort of... I would wait. I would wait for this to do this, personally. I would. Okay. Let's quickly go to what we need to do. I forgot. We need to put our PDCs on this chart real quick. So on SPY and Qs, I need to put my PDC because gap rules definitely will apply for me today. PDC is right here. Let me go ahead and make sure I got that on the chart. I'm going to go ahead and dash it like that. PDC, Qs, PDC. Okay. Good. And let me just take a look at where that's at. Yeah, okay. So there's your previous day close, and here's your technical gap down. You are on a gap down right now, technically. Your gap fill would be up to here. So that is very possibly where the market may want to navigate towards and fill that gap. Okay. Tesla, doing everything it needs to do for someone that is patient. Doing everything it needs to do right now. Continuing to maintain, building really nice structure again here. Nice pullback long at the 434. Holding a higher low structure between the 441 and 445. I'm liking it still. Right? Really no reason to back off this idea. Not yet. This high here, 441, to these lows here, 445, I think is the zone that needs to hold. And as long as that sort of continues to pick up liquidity and starts and continues to pop out of this area, I'm happy with this to continue higher. So, yeah, still watching Tesla. Like this zone. Intraday volatility has been okay. Intraday action has been decent, right? This was nice. Yesterday was pretty nice after FOMC, but let's see if it can set up something off that zone again today. NVIDIA, once again, dead to me. Once again, rejecting the exact 184.50. It has gone limp, as we were concerned about, and it is, again, another limp stock. It's a weak stock. So, again, needs to get over 184.50. Once it does, then maybe I get interested. AMD, another one that's been sort of limp. 226 needs to break. I still have that alert set. No changes there. This has been the best stock in the last few days, and I have failed to execute upon it, which I'm a little upset about. So today I am making sure that a chart is locked onto MU today, because this thing really has been quite perfect. Look at the structure on MU. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, that is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is perfect structure. Structure 1 highs, structure 2 lows. Structure 2 highs, structure 3 lows. Structure 3 highs, structure 4 lows, right? I mean, it's just absolutely perfection. So, man, this chart has been great. GG's to you guys that have been trading MU, because this is where the money's at. I mean, this is exactly what you want to see on a stock. So today, absolutely on watch, 255. Can we get a little pullback long to structure 3 highs? Can we get a little long at these lows? Can we get another push, right? Maybe we get a nice break and retest of structure 4 highs, 264.75. Either way, this is absolutely on the docket today. Keeping eyes on MU. Beautiful chart. Beautiful chart. Any action on the news? Not quite. Let's just keep chugging along here. Just run through my Desi TA here a little bit. Oh, Qualcomm. Yeah, Qualcomm, big move here, guys. Big breakout, Qualcomm. This was the level we were watching back on the last earnings, if you guys remember, back in October. This is a big breakout for Qualcomm. Daily chart, major daily highs here between 177, 174. Even if you zoom out even more, you can see how major of a breakout this is. Look at this previous daily high on Qualcomm, right? Right here. Rejections, rejections, rejections. Daily highs, 177, 174. You have broken above that. Look at this yesterday. Big break, big squeeze above that level. So now, little pullback long to this zone would be very nice to watch. Over 183.44, I like more upside. So yeah, I like this little Qualcomm, sneaky little break from Qualcomm yesterday. Might be something to be paying attention to here. Sneaky little Qualcomm breakout. ASML still looks great on the 4-hour chart. If you have the cojones to be long ASML, it's a very low liquidity, large spread, but very advantageous if you get it right type of stock. Looks really good still around the 1086, 1100 spot. So 4-hour chart still looking pretty nice. Got to see if we can get a little catalyst there. Amazon, I really like this setup still. I'm enjoying the maintain for now. I see Amazon has now flipped back over the daily 100, flipped back over this 228 demand. Nice pop yesterday, pullback and holding again. So I like how it's been tested again there. That's good. We need to get over this 232 spot. If we can get over that, I think there is a nice opportunity approaching here. So watching for maybe the 232 break, looking for that demand low to hold. Let's see if that can continue. Meta, good pullbacks, as expected, as it should. Big gap up, just giving it back. I like this 640, 638 spot that's trying to hold, but you very clearly need to get over 648. 648.50, that is clearly the spot that needs to break. So I would be looking to see if that happens. This is probably my favorite setup on the market right now. We'll see if it stands true. It's a beautiful watch. It's definitely a technical setup, and it's not one that you would get upset on losing on. You can't get upset losing on this attempt. This is pretty damn perfect. Apple previous highs, Apple previous highs, Apple breakout, Apple pullback, Apple hold, Apple daily 20, and Apple outperformance at that exact spot over the last 3 trading days. So, yeah, pretty good stuff. Right in the demand zone on the short term, you can see it's continuing to hold. Daily 20 swooping right under price action. Apple's been in a mega uptrend, just like perfect uptrending move. Pullback longs, 4% pullback into the previous highs. There's not much else that you need to find that, courage. So that's pretty damn good. We'll see if it pays. APP possibly giving you a gift of a pullback here. This 675 level is still holding, so you can see right here. Previous highs right here, 675, bam, bam, bam. Nice spot there. I would keep watching that 675 level on APP. Carvana, the gift that keeps on giving. Beautiful continuation. Structure is starting to get built. Right, we can see the structure that's starting to get built here. Here's your Monday high, Tuesday high. Here's your Wednesday low and potentially today's low. So I would be watching that 457, 460 zone on Carvana. If you want to get a piece of this Carvana juice, I would say watch that 456, 457, 460 area. CRWV, a little bit weak today. Failed the 90 spot, which I really wanted to see it hold. Still above our key 80 spot, which is good. I'd like to see this, I'd like to see, if I zoom out here, I'd like to see this spot hold today. Right here. I'd like to see these highs and this high right here between 82.84 and 83.50 hold tight. If that can hold tight, I would stay a little bit confident. If that fails, I would get a little bit interested in whether I want to keep holding this. So watching that very closely. Circle, I think, is still fine. Still above that 82. It is failing this 88 spot, which is not great. You can see failing back under that rejection point. So could get a little bit of weakness off that. But as long as it's over that 82 spot, I think the bigger picture looks fine. A little bit cautious on the crypto weakness today. It's not quite pushing with the overall market, so I wonder if the crypto trade's just not really quite there still. So watching that IBIT 50 spot. Palantir, nice structure on the hourly chart, 30-minute chart. You can see right here. You need to hold this 183 spot or this 179.50, 180 spot. The daily high that you should be paying attention to is this 190. This is your problem, guys, on Palantir. It's right here. Here's your problem, okay? 190. Very clear daily high that rejected very heavily. That is absolutely the spot that you need to see break. Hood, really nice. Pullback and consolidation inside this zone. We'll see if it can maintain this zone today. You can see Hood between the 128, 130, 131 right in there. Continues to hold. I would just continue to monitor that zone. GEV. Elon Musk has officially announced SpaceX will IPO in 2026. Damn. Is that true? I wonder, what's that? What was that stock that had SpaceX IPO in it? There was that stock. Who knows it? Someone knows it. We used to watch it. It was like some weird letters. It was like some weird letters that had the SpaceX private market sort of baked in. Yeah, the ARK Venture Fund has it. I know that. DXYZ, that's what it was. Thank you. Holy shit, look at this. I wonder if this has a run. I wonder if this has a run. Is this something we should be watching today? Wow, the valuation of SpaceX is 1.5 trillion. Wow. I remember when, I remember when our our group had access to buy this private market like a couple years ago with our buddy Neil. And I know some of you guys took advantage of that. That might actually pay off big, huh? Holy shit, I gotta text him. I know Hey F took advantage of that. Wow. Can't trade options on it? Oh. Could be something to buy shares of. Not sure. It's Google owns 7% of SpaceX. Do they really? Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. Maybe some ways to find some exposure to that. What's the ARK Venture Fund? What's the ARK Venture Fund ticker? ARK. Yes, I agree. Can you even? Yeah, ARK Venture Fund owns 7.4%. ARK UX. Can't even. How do you even buy it? Oh, you can only buy this on public, right? Or on SoFi. That's funny. You can only buy this on SoFi. Huh. Why can't I go back and see? Interesting. Okay. All right. Some things to think about tonight. Interesting. Let's continue. GEV has been awesome. I would watch the pullback long at previous all-time highs. Big breakout GEV, 664, 677. Got that alert set. Waiting for that one. Microsoft back down at the 200 SMA. Something to keep eyes on there. Financials have been red hot. Goldman Sachs, red hot. JP Morgan has been all right. Maybe it's the next one up to be paying attention to. Besides these ridiculous candles that keep getting printed. Maybe a little JPM. XLF has been sort of on this little uptrending move. But GS has been the hottest by far. One of my top watches today. Oh, no. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, good. Yeah, one of my top watches today is Eli Lilly. Think I will be buying some shares of this one today. Absolutely perfect retest of this weekly high. I will not miss this. I will not miss this with some share juice. A little bit of share action over here for me. Perfect retest. Anywhere between, I would say, the 935 to 972 area. Anywhere in here is a perfect retest of the weekly highs here. Break, retest, Eli Lilly. Been a monster watching this zone big time. This is probably my top watch today. Absolutely gorgeous little pullback to that retest zone. That's a big time watch. ASTS also has been great. We've been talking about ASTS for some time. 76, 72. If you hold 76 today, I think you continue to 82. Watching ASTS as well, tracking that one. And finally, you can look at Oracle. Oracle, very weak post-earnings. Down into these weekly highs. You might need to gap fill on Oracle still. That might be where you're headed. You still have a gap to fill down at 179.55. But yeah, interested to see what this does. Interested to see what it does at these major previous highs still. 188 to 198, you're sort of sitting right in between it. Maybe a little gap fill action. But I still think something to be watching at these previous highs back here. Something I'm monitoring very closely. Picked up a little bit of shares on this just as a starter in the overnight. I bought them at like 211, I think. So I'm obviously down like, I bought 20 shares. So I'm down like, what is that? $20, down like $400. But obviously very much a starter position. So we'll look to see if there's opportunities to stay or look for new entry points there. That's about it. I think top watches of the day, definitely Lilly, definitely Apple. I think eyes on that Amazon spot. Keeping eyes on that Tesla spot. I think we watched that IWM action that's been hot. ASTS, yeah, I mean, that one's nice too, ASTS. Reddit's a nice one as well today. Reddit looks really good on the 4-hour. So there's some nice setups out there, man. just need that follow through. We need that follow through because there are nice setups. Like this Reddit setup looks very nice, but you need that juice. Yeah, MU, that's right. I forgot about that, Rob. Again, I already forgot about it. Okay. Let's get a quick peek at the NQES. All right, so ES is sitting right back at 68.64. NASDAQ is back under 670. SPY is pulling back to 684. And Qs are right at the 624. Okay. Yeah, I think that 684 SPY is my top watch of the day right here. I think that's my top level of the day. That's the #1 level. 684. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. If you could, before you head out, please help me get to 1,000 likes here. We got 2,400 people. We got 980 likes. All I ask for you to be here for free every day is to just press the like button. EchoStar has effectively become the primary public market proxy for SpaceX. Sats. Wow. Hello, sir. Ouch. Okay, I got to pay attention to this. Some paying attention to satellites. And you know what else is satellites? This one right here. Satellites. That's the new, that's what we're going to put in our name. It's the options insert, or just the insiders. I'm going to IPO this company. The insiders, marijuana, AI, blockchain, satellite. What else? It's the insiders, marijuana. These are the past hot things, right? Marijuana, AI, blockchain, satellite. Give me some more. There's more. What else was hot? What else was, if it was in the name, it went straight up? Were those the main ones? At one time, it was marijuana stocks. Then it was AI stocks. It was obviously the Bitcoin blockchain stocks. Maybe we got a little satellite, as long as it's got something to do. Oh, we got robotics, right? Robotics. If you got a robotics in your name, then it's going up. So maybe it's the satellite move with this SpaceX action. Yeah, GLP-1, right? If you got GLP-1 in your name, if you're weight loss, then we're going up. GLP-1. Solar, yep. EV. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk to you later.